Should I sell? That's what we're going to be going over in today's episode. Thanks again for joining me. This is Nick Despotidis with Keller Williams Capital Properties in Washington, D.C. Let's join the conversation for our first episode in Should I Sell? And we're going to be discussing, no, you shouldn't sell. And that's what we're going to be talking about, why you shouldn't sell. Instead, there are other options that will give you more to hold on to the property instead of selling it for such a low price. Join me today. Come on in. Let's go. Thanks for joining me today. Remember to like and subscribe to help my business out and to repay the favor of the content that I'm going to give you today. Should I sell? We already talked about no. If you can hold on to the property, right? There are other options out there to get you more money, like short-term rental or mid-term rentals. Now, the next question is, when are interest rates going to drop? That is the biggest indicator for sellers of when prices will go up, is when interest rates drop, demand goes up. And that's what we saw last year and the year before in 2020 and 2021. Interest rates dropped all the way down to 3%, even lower. Within 6 months, the Fed decided to create an artificial, let's say, inflationary or hedge to make money more expensive because inflation was so high, up to the 9%. Now we're at about 7%. So getting back to interest rates, we have to monitor them being sellers because that's when demand is going to go up and that's when buyers are going to come in. So the Mortgage Bankers Associations has released data that last year in 2021, the average mortgage rate was 3.3%. That sounded so great. Maybe even too high. You're like, man, 3%, I want to get high twos. Not anymore. That's a thing of the past. In 2022, the average interest rate for Q4 was 6.6%, the highest they've been since 2007, 2008. And sure enough, demand dropped. There's 40% less transactions in the market in Washington, D.C. and the metro area. 40% less. That means 40% less agents. Real estate agents like myself will be exiting the business. There's going to be 40% less options out there for you to look at as a buyer. There's more than 40% less of a chance for you to get a buyer for your house. So as a seller, you have to really focus on when interest rates will drop again. And good thing that other organizations like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Fannie Mae are predicting a slight recession or small recession with a soft landing, as the Fed says, for 2023. Now, talking amongst ourselves, that is going to happen, but we're wondering how long and how deep the recession's going to be. We hope and we predict that it will be a mild recession. Look forward to it in 2023. When rates drop, that's the time to sell. And start talking to your real estate professional, your financial advisor, your friends and family to prepare for that shift. Start decluttering. You want to get rid of all that stuff you don't need as a seller. All that stuff, you want to declutter your property. Start getting contractors, lining them up to fix things, smart fixes. Kitchen, bathroom, roof, foundation. You definitely want to fix up the kitchen. Just make sure it's nice and tight, nice and open. Take off those old shades. The less is more. Bring in that natural sunlight. Buyers love it. So these are the times, again, to start looking at your options on what investments you could do in your house to get back a return when you sell. Now, in most marketplaces, if you invest in your house, you'll get at least a dollar for dollar return, if not more. In Washington, D.C., for every dollar you put into the kitchen, you get $1.75 back. For the bathroom, $1.50 back. So start doing those repairs for when the interest rates do drop next year. Look out for that. Look at, there's a lot of apps. So download an app. You can check the mortgage rate. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac releases the rates every day. So these are the things that we're talking about. And we do think that rates are going to drop next year naturally as inflation and unemployment are starting to be under control or more normalized. Normalized for the Fed or for the economy for inflation is closer to 2 to 3%. Right now we're at 7%. So look forward to it. Start doing things in your house that will make sense for when it is time to sell, and keep close to the resources that you have, or keep the relationships going so you know exactly when to sell. Thanks again for joining me for another episode. Remember to subscribe and like the content and comment. I'm looking forward to your feedback on this conversation about selling and holding on to it. And hey, Airbnb it while you have to. Take care.